been boxing my entire life. I come from the biggest boxing family in Canada.
Okay.
Olympic medal winners from Nova Scotia, Kirk Johnson, Sugar Ray Downey, Dave Downey, middleweight champ, Clyde Gray from here,
Hmm.
right? These Nova Scotian boxers. My father boxed in the army, boxers around me my whole life. It's just, boxing becomes a way of life because boxing is a sport of don't.
Don't.
Don't drink. Don't have sex with your woman. Don't stay out at night. Don't do stupid stuff. Watch what you eat. You can't eat this, that, this. It's a business of don't. And if you can discipline yourself to all those don'ts, you're become more successful than the other guys. Keep in mind, you need a skill level to get you there, so you need a good trainer.
Hmm.
And then you need the will to suffer to win. So a boxer's job is not to punch the other guy out. A boxer's job is to accept his punches until he can't throw them no more, and then punch him out. So how do I win this fight, coach? Let him punch himself out by punching you out. And when he can't punch you out no more, then we go into plan 2 and we win. That's the essence of the sport. The more pain you could take, the greater your chances of winning. It's like a football player, frontline guy. Pain, 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 but he's in a winning team. He sucks it up and he just keeps going. That's the nature of fighting. Not what you give that makes you a champ, it's what you take that makes you a champ. And a good example of that is Muhammad Ali and Fraser 3. On the 14th round, Fraser couldn't come out. Ali won. But Ali said after, had Fraser stood up, he would have quit because he was finished. So the one who took the most pain, i.e. Ali, won.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. So anyways, what boxing was through history is it enables poor people to rise up and shake hands with rich people. So you could be in Canada right now, the Canadian heavyweight champ. If you're the British Commonwealth champ, you will shake the hand of the King of England because you're a British champ. You can't do that in any other sport. If you're a basketball player and you're a gangbanger, you're not on the team. Football, you're not on a team because they have this moral contract that's absent in boxing. Doesn't have a moral contract. That's why Tyson could say, I'm going to kill your kids and eat their liver and still go on to be famous. They don't have a moral contract. And boxing is as old as time. There's Archie Midas, 242 BC. There's a statue of him in the Rome Museum looking like a boxer that he is. So he's been there for 2,500 years, you know. So that's how old boxing is. And even in the gladiatorial arenas of Rome, boxers were the most famous of the gladiatorial fighters, more famous than the sword fighters. And a boxer can rise up to sit next to the king. When in everything else, it's harder to do that. That's the history of fighting because you're willing to put it all on the line to entertain other people. However, if you have boxing skills and you wish to be a boxer, I always try to talk you out of it first.
Oh.
Yeah, 100%. I try hard to talk you out of taking that road because it's the hardest thing you're ever going to do. And you could be wasting my time if you're not serious. 2 years into this, you just can't take the shit anymore and you quit. And it's 2 years I invested in it. So I say, if you've got anything to do with sports in you, then show me the money and become a manager or a promoter if you really want in the game. It takes experience to be a coach, so you have to do boxing to be a coach. But I say to guys, do you really want to be? I want to be a fighter more than anything in the world. I said, then stick your finger in a light socket, get your hair to go up like Don King's, and be a promoter. You'll make more money and be happier than taking the punches in your face, right?
Maybe more healthy too in the long run.
And at the end of the day, you're far more healthier. And some go, no. And I got a cousin now fighting out west. And he just won the out west title. 20 years he was in jail. He committed a murder as a teenager. He was charged, he was sentenced as an adult. He did 20 years. He was the Canadian champ, amateur champ when he went to prison. He got out. The prison parole people, there's no way you could fight. It's violence, it's this. He just pushed against it. He fought and he won the Canadian Amateur Championship after 20 years. Then he turned pro, lost his first 3 pro fights, and we're all like, oh, this ain't working out too well for him. And then he won his next 4 pro fights, and now he's in line to take the title. He'll be the first guy in Canadian history to ever do that, if he does it. So for him, even if I told him not to go into this, he didn't listen, he won't listen. But it turned out for him. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
That is rare. So out of 10,000 people, 900,000 or 9,500 are going to fail. That,
Hmm.
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Small percentage will succeed. He's a rarity in Canadian history for having the tenacity to stay in shape, stay healthy, and to focus on the same dream he had before he got arrested.
Hmm.
That's rare to keep that in your mind all those years. When I get out, I'm going to be a fighter. When I get out, I'm going to be a fighter. I'm going to train. I'm going to stay in shape. I'm going to be a fighter. I'm going to be a fighter. Pro board? No, you're not. Your friends, your relatives? No, you're not. Everybody around you? No, you're not. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And then he does it. That's rare, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
So.
So if I want to learn boxing, what should I know? Like as a person who has never boxed.
Okay, there's two components to boxing. There's one, boxing for money or fame or glory,
Mm-hmm.
and the other is boxing for self-defense and exercise.
Mm-hmm.
If you're boxing for self-defense or exercise, all you need to know is that there's discipline in going to the gym, and in the gym there's discipline.
Mm.
So you have to embrace that discipline. If you're fighting for money, it's 10 times that insanity. It's more that it's not fun. You know, all the buyers, even today when I spar with guys, it's fun, but it's not fun. I'm punching you in the face and you're punching me in the face. And after we finish punching each other in the face, we thank each other for punching each other in the face and say, we had a lot of fun. Can we do to gain the moral? Right? That's the essence of fighter. So you got to be a little bit of a psychopath to be a real good fighter. You got to want to hurt the guy that you like. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to destroy you. But after the fight, we'll go out and have a good meal. You're going to bring your wife and your mother and all that because I really like them. It's an insane sport to do that. And people are always profiting off you, the players, the pimps.
Yes.
Players and the pimps are always profiting off everything you do. So, and that gets to you at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, when you talk to the fighters, that's their biggest regret, is allowing the players and the pimps to take from them. Mike Tyson lost $300 million to Don King when he was in jail. So just taking, and everybody's taking. And Ali said the same thing. People just take and they just take and they just take. That's the nature of entertainment business.
Yes.
No matter if you're a fighter or you're a singer, dancer, artist, doesn't matter what you are. Yeah.
So for the people who are watching and they're thinking, well, I can't fight.
Then you do boxercise. And here's the thing about boxercise, why it's so good.
Okay.
Because it teaches you self-defense, discipline, and balance. But in the rest of your life, that applies to you. I rarely trip over stuff because of my feet are light, touching the ground. So even if you stick your foot out, I'll stumble, but very rarely will I fall to the ground.
Yes.
It teaches you hand-eye coordination. A cup falls out of the cupboard, I got it. And everyone's, holy shit. Reflexes are really good still.
Yeah.
For me, and I'm like almost 70 years old. So reflexes are still good. That's what it brings to the table. I never took a lot of punishment, so my brain is functioning fairly well to guys that took a lot of punishment and can't because their reflexes aren't there to catch that cup. So there's a downside to boxing competitively. There's no downside to boxing for fun and exercise.
Yeah.
And you learn self-defense, you learn a skill. For women, it's good because women's upper bodies are weaker than their lower bodies, so they're more into kickboxing and Muay Thai. We teach them, I said, if you're in an elevator, the chance of you using your feet amongst 4 people in the elevator, one guy grabs your ass and you want to do something, there's 2 other people there, it's hard to use your feet. Boxing is the way to go. It's historically the way to go. We box as little kids. We slap each other as little kids before we do anything else, right? That kind of stuff. So it's ingrained in us to do that. It's nice to know it. Anyways, in Bath Institution, the Queen's volleyball team used to come in and use our gym to do volleyball.
Okay.
And one day I was the women's team. And one day I was hitting the heavy bag and a girl walked up to me and she said, can you teach me some of the stuff you know? So I did. I was out on a pass on the street going to the cable station and she stopped me in a car. Rick, I got to talk to you. I got to talk to you. I go, what's up? She goes, I was in a bar the other night. A guy grabbed my ass. I turn around, I jab, jab, right, hook right. Just like you said, just like you said. And I knocked the guy out. Now, no one in the bar bothers me again. I said, no shit. Who's going to bother you? You hit a guy with 4 punches and knock him out. Nobody's going to bother you again.
What was that combo? Jab, jab, right, hook, right?
Jab, jab, right. Jab to get in. Bang, bang. Now you're in his face. Right hand, boom. That sets him up. Boom, the sneaky hook. Boom, the right finishes him off. Are you okay, guy?
So boxing is both, to you, it almost sounds like it's both a sport and kind of like a philosophy of life. Almost.
Not only that, it's a dance.
Mm.
in that philosophy. There's a dance you do in boxing. So the philosophy is incorporating the dance of fighting.
Mm.
There's a dance that goes on, the same dance that the tennis player does. The top tennis players in the world move like fighters. They dance because they have to move laterally. They dance forward, they dance back.
Mm.
That's the fun of boxing, is that dance, just like the fun of tennis. This can't be the point. It has to be the dance to get the point.
Yeah.
It's the fun and what the crowd goes crazy about, right? So it's the same. So if you learn that dance, it's a pretty good dance to know.
Like that foot movement.
The foot movement, the dance of how you move your feet as a boxer, how you move your body as a boxer. It transitions to any other physical movement that you do, no matter what it is.
And is that what you mean when you say boxercise? Is that what you meant, like
Exactly.
practicing those movements?
Yeah, it's just practicing those movements so you can fight. So listen, I'm teaching you 1-2, 1-2, a combination. But if your life is on the line and you have pencils in your hands or pens in your hands, 1-2, 1-2 can keep you alive.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Wow.